All right. Good morning, everyone. Hello. Hello, hello. Let's get into it. I'm just waiting for the thumbnails to be made for the streams so everything connects. And then we're going to get into it. Gonna get into it. All right. So let's just do one section at. We'll go from the bottom up. We're going to start with the legs, completely finish the legs, then move on. It shouldn't take too long, hopefully. Um, so let's turn off everything else. Turn on the reference. I think it's all looking pretty good. This one's got some segmentations that we do not have. So do something about there. Bevel, crease. Oh, yeah, we'll do that. And then face extrude along normals. Bring it in about there. And isolate it. Select the edge loops and then crease. Maybe bevel too. All right, so we got our little screw there. I think we'll still need to, I'd like to move this forward, I think. Switch it to local. Move that forward. And it doesn't show it here, but I'm going to duplicate this. And move it down so we've got another little block attaching it. It doesn't show that in the image, but I think take some artistic liberty to do that. Lastly, in this, we can see that there's no gaps between it. It does fill in, even though there probably would be a gap like right there. So I think we need to fill it in with something, especially to cut off this foot or heel. The heel, I think I'll actually just do that. Let's close it up. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to take these vertexes, duplicate them, fill them, separate them. So now we've got this little block here. Fill it to extrude it. Push this over. Just try to fill in this space. So we don't want to be able to see through it. And we'll hit the normal view, scooch that back, maybe even further. That should at least make it feel like some sort of complete object. I'll actually switch it to the dark material because that's what it is on the drawing. Kind of a void. So I'll try to keep that. I'll do the same for the interior of this vent. Right after I create a nice boolean to cut this. I'll again take these points, duplicate them, fill them, separate them. Actually, take that back. Let's back up a few steps. I'm going to take these ones as well. Duplicate, separate. So for this one, I'm just going to turn it into a box. And get rid of pretty much everything here. Okay. And then we'll select our array here. At the very bottom, we're going to add a boolean. Boolean's going to use this new object we made, which we'll rename to _bool leg. Hello, Zen. Hello, bud. I'm back. How you doing? I'm doing good. Doing good. Thank you for asking. We're working on a mech right now, which has been very fun. Kind of making some fun characters these days. Yeah, I've been doing well. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday, halfway through the week already. Well, the start of halfway through the week. We're going to do intersect. And then we can take our boolean, move that to hidden. Now we've changed it so they do fit nicely in there. So I'm sorry I missed the finish of the headgear you made for this model. That's no problem. I can show that off in just a moment. It's probably still more work on the head to be done. So I'm going to do the eye socket and then kind of fill in all these gaps in the back. But it's looking pretty good overall. Certainly more to be done, as there always is. But it looks cool. Looks cool. Here's the shaded view. Legs. Back here, I'm gonna. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm certainly having a lot of fun these days working on this stuff. Bam. And bam. Gotta figure out how to connect all these things. Because we need to start filling up these gaps. And that's gonna be tricky. Very tricky. This one has it forward. Just want to prevent it from clipping that knee. Move this back and down, perhaps. I think that worked. Move it back. Bang. All right, looks cool. Then let's sit down now. Oh. We'll have to make the elbow too. We need to fill in this top part here. So I think we'll just run a cut. Actually, we could just do this. Cut here. Like that. Then we just close this top portion. Take the front here and extrude it. Like that. Now that's filled in nicely. You know, today I had to switch off some Windows Fender options to download a file. And guess what? Fender's gone. It's missing. I'm formatting my laptop right now. FNL. You know, one of those programs that definitely want it, but you don't miss it. Hello, Bold Strategy Cotton One. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We're working on an avatar right now. VR chat avatar, if you're familiar with VR chat. It's a mech guy. So finished quite a bit of it, but we're working on the leg right now. But welcome. Hello. Hope you're having a good day. Takes much time to learn modeling, right? It does. It does. Definitely a few years of work to really feel comfortable with this kind of work. But it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. I do love doing this kind of work. And hard to imagine doing anything else at this point. I'm gonna move this face back like this. What's your suggestion, which is better, Linux or Windows, according to security and quick response? I don't have any experience with Linux, so that's hard for me to answer. I know that people that like Linux seem to really like Linux, but I think they tend to be open source advocates. What I will say is that Windows tends to be more compatible with a lot of the software I use, so that's kind of where my head's at. Like, I love to use Linux, but can I do everything on Linux that I can do here? I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, just trying to close these gaps here. Hello, Yandere waifu. You are totally fine. Welcome to the stream. We're working on a mech. A mech. I'll show you the mech in just a moment. Let's just get things positioned. We're trying to close up all these little gaps here. Phoenix to Gaming, welcome back. Hello. Missing lol. Yeah, here's the character. So looking pretty dope. There's the work we have. And then here's what it looks like. So we're getting close. We're getting close. Still more to do. Still more to finish up, but we're closing in. Bolter, I'd be happy if you would say which avatars did you already make. I've made quite a few. I mostly do commissions for individuals, but let me share my ArtStation here. So if you go to my ArtStation, samdutter.artstation.com, I believe it should be linked below on Twitch. I need to set up YouTube, so it has my links, but yeah, we got quite a few. So been doing this for about 4 years now. This is my very first one, a little tripod guy. This is my very first commission. I had made a few avatars before then, like these two, and this guy. Seems so long ago. When was this? Do I get? No, it doesn't say. Okay. Anyway, yeah, it came out really well. And I mostly do personas. Yeah. Anthro characters. It's kind of the bread and butter, so to speak. All right, let's close this up. I want to do this. We're going to flatten them and then kind of scale them out to here. Then global. That didn't work. Maybe that works. Anyway, yeah. I definitely, if you're considering getting into the game industry, VR chats and other platforms like Roblox and this and that, they're a little bit nice to consider in a way. You know, I didn't have that option a few years ago, but now things are kind of working out nicely. And I think it's something I could recommend to pretty much everyone if they're looking to get into this. You know, certainly. It's a different world, but have to be ready for freelance, which can be its own hell. Just adding a few little details on the back here. I might go in and add some more things because it looks cool, but I feel like it could be a little bit more detailed. I've been doing Blender for 3 years and I don't like anything I make. I do think that as a creator, you should not necessarily be looking for validation from yourself because you're pretty much always going to be looking to the next thing. Like people ask me like, "Oh, what's your favorite avatar I've ever made?" And it's always the one I made most recently because that's the one that that's allowed me to push my skills the farthest. It's not necessarily a reflection of aesthetic or anything. It's just you're always going to want to be pushing if this is what calls you. So what I've realized that helps the most is seeing what other people think, because uh, then I'm not relying on myself to give myself affirmation. Uh, I think it's a little healthier that way. You're always going to want to do better. And that's kind of the nature of being an artist, I think. Being an artist is like an athlete. You're always looking to push yourself. I don't think there's ever been a moment in my art career where I'm like, I've made it. I'll never have to make anything again. I've made the perfect thing. Always, I don't think that exists. And would you want that anyway? Would you actually really want that? I don't think so. All right, I want to switch gears a little bit. We're going to focus on the axe because I realized I hadn't finished it yet. Nice, you have some free models too. Yeah, yeah. I try to share some stuff every now and then. Um, I'd really like to make some more products and stuff. I've got some stuff on the way. Uh, I'm actually doing a collaboration with a creator. His name's Lindy. Yeah, he's pretty well known in VR chat. Um, I'm looking forward to making an avatar with them, and I'll be promoting that over the next few months. Whenever we get to it, get to the end of it, of making it, which could be a little bit. Do you know which tutorials to watch to learn 3D modeling? Um, I don't have like specific ones to recommend because usually I've found that I don't rely on a specific tutorial, but a search. So like, I think the first thing you'll probably want to get a tutorial, find a good tutorial for, or a tutorial that you like, is how do I use Blender or Blender interface, or just start with like the donut tutorials, usually one that's recommended. Um, but I think it's also just great to start from. I want to make this particular thing. I want to make a gun. I want to make a character, and just find a tutorial that matches that. Um, no, there's definitely many programs out there. Um, I just prefer Blender. That's my one true love. But there's certainly many options out there. Yeah, a lot. There's a lot of options. But Blender is free. That's really the main advantage. Blender is free. So if you are looking to just get into it to start making things as quickly as possible, Blender is a great way to go. Normally watch Shanzo if you know him. He makes models. So now that's what's tried and got good, but I don't think it's my thing now. Well, you're on your journey searching for things that you like to make. That's a good thing. Just got to start with your personal aesthetic. Hello, Arctic. Welcome. Good morning. Hello, hello. How was your day go? So it's subdivided too much. Thanks, I appreciate the help and free models. I'm going to go watch some tutorials. I'm not going to leave the stream though, so see you later. Sounds good, Bold Strategy Cotton. Enjoy your day. Thanks for coming by again, and good luck with your modeling. Yeah, look forward to see what you make. Bam. Boom. Boundary loop. Turn off the solidify. Get rid of that. Get rid of it. And let's crease and bevel. This is gonna look cool. I'm excited for this. I love weapons. Love making weapons. Bam. Here's the axe head kind of deal. Hey, W. Lathif just subscribed. Thank you, W. Welcome to the stream. And hello, Chadalowski. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. We're working on an axe right now. Bye. I think we can make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to do that and that. Yeah. Today is my first official day. I start with Blender. Okay, heck yeah. Well, you're going to love it. Well, you love the learning. Bam. Excuse me. So these edges are a little messed up. And I still see this weird seam on the edge. That's annoying. Don't want that. I can probably just get rid of the solidify, actually. Yeah. I don't want it, and it's gone. Well, what are you making in Blender? It's very relaxing to know the interface. Good. It's definitely one of the more difficult aspects to start with, but it is worth knowing. Definitely worth knowing. But what are you making? You're working on something for yourself, or some sort of job, or freelance, or something? Let's fill this spot in right here. Bam. Need to get my button gear and learn surface modeling. I'm good with soft bodies, but I just cannot figure out solid shapes for some reason. Always manage to skew something the wrong way or make lines wobbly, etc. I do think that you really can only do it with subdivision stuff, subdivision modifiers. There's really no other. I mean, you could like sketch out something in uh with like a sculpt, just get like the basic shapes. But subdivisions are really the only thing that are going to give you sharp edges, unfortunately. Wish there were other options. Well, for now, I want to create a weapon, but my main goal is a job that's far away at this point. Well, gotta have goals, and that's a good one. That's a good goal. Important to know what you're aiming for. Hello, Snardom. Making it happen. Indeed, indeed. Good morning, Snardom. Hello, hello. How are you doing? So that being said, Arctic, I don't particularly like subdivision modifying. Don't like subdivision workflows. I think there is something frustrating about how it works, and you do get weird things every now and then. How long have I used Blender? I've been using Blender or for this type of work for like the last 4 years. But I had some experience with it over the last, let's say, 10 years or so, school into freelance work, but it was for other things. This kind of work really only the last 4 years or so. And I love it. I love it. Being able to stream it too. I think that's a big bonus. Big bonanza. Sky Zixie. Oh, goodness. Good. Don't mind me tagging along. I found you on YouTube and looked for someone that does what you do for a while now. So thanks for doing what you do. Thank you, Sky. Thank you for coming by. Definitely. Good morning. Good morning. I'm glad you're finding some value in my videos and stuff. Then feel free to ask any questions. Can't wait to see how you do the Galaxy Glitter Shader setup. Ooh, me too. It's gonna be tasty. It's gonna be tasty. It literally is making my mouth water thinking about it. Definitely a percent. Definitely a percent bevel. That's so cool. Yeah, I saw the new trailer from Lowell, and that was a moment for me. I want to create also a good looking character. Okay, heck yeah. I'm in love with the visuals for their show, Arcane. Um, really excited for the next season. I think that's going to be amazing. It there hasn't been much animation in the last few years where like it just actually blows my mind. They do a really good job. They do a really good job. That looks strange. That looks really odd for some reason. There we go. Just a nice little bevel on the edge. Make it soft. Make it soft. Yeah. I think they just got hit with a bunch of layoffs, which is a little sad, but you know, they're making do. They can do. I think that's in a way that'll be a good thing because I have a feeling how much talent and creativity was there, they're going to just make a lot of cool stuff elsewhere. Um, be motivated to start some different things. All right, that looks pretty cool. Feels very cartoonish, which I love. And let's get some other metal material on these pieces. Or maybe. But you are working now as a freelancer, or do you also work in the gaming slash film industry? I did very briefly work for like some small startups, but mostly through freelance. Um, mostly freelance then. Uh, now I do VR chat avatars full time, and it's certainly a direction I think people should consider. It's not for everyone, for sure, but I think platforms like Roblox and stuff, Roblox VR chat, social gaming platforms are going to be a huge market. They're going to be a very big part of the future of gaming. So definitely worth thinking about when you kind of do your own journey. Oops. And we'll do this kind of gray material. This one. Copy this one. Okay. But yeah, I do. This is basically what I do. I stream the whole week, every weekday, working on my commissions. Just like sharing my process and keeps me productive. That's my little brain. If you need a brain hack, you're feeling demotivated, have a tough time focusing, stream. Streaming is the easiest way to to make yourself accountable. I know some people definitely don't enjoy it, but uh, I think it's quite fun once you get in the swing of it, and it certainly will keep you focused. Much better than sitting alone in a room trying to feel like, why can't I work? Absolutely, absolutely. Copy this, paste. Just want to round these corners here, or sharpen them. Nice. Unwaste. These ones look different because the crease is different. All right, I'll live with that. Dope. That looks cool. That looks cool. This one could use a little bit more work. To make it thicker, I'm going to get rid of the solidify. Go in and just extrude it this way. But industry standard usually uses Maya, right? Or it doesn't matter if you also use Blender. There's certainly a lot of work to be had. If you're just looking to get hired, there are a lot of companies that use Blender these days. A lot of animation studios as well. And I think it'll get bigger as time goes on. Not sure I mentioned, but I got invited to teach trial class for the web/game dev gig. Hey, that's awesome, Snardom. Happy to hear that. Happy to hear that. We've been grinding on those applications for a while, so nice. I'm sure he'll crush it. Crush those children looking to learn. Destroy them. But yeah, I think Blender is definitely becoming a very popular contender in the realm of like professional work. Ubisoft contributes to Blender. I'll find Adobe at the root. I personally, and Snardom and many others here will agree, think that open source platforms should be what we fight for as artists because they actually give us control over our ability to make a living. So I certainly would say that it's most likely in your best interest, or that maybe definitely consider using Blender. I think that, but I think the key thing is that the skills you learn in Blender or any 3D program transfer easily between a little bit more easily between software than you think. Like learning how to sculpt, you're going to learn the kind of overview process. At first, you'll be learning all the specifics, all the little technical details, but eventually you'll be able to coalesce that understanding into like the tools. The software won't matter as much as knowing what your end result should look like and how to get to that end result. And you'll be able to do that in a bunch of different software. And many companies have you jump in between a bunch of different software, and like you're expected to kind of not necessarily learn on the fly. I mean, yeah, learn like learning the programs as you go is kind of expected a little bit, especially in like VFX. That can get a little rough, but When I say VFX, like yeah, CGI movies and stuff like that. They definitely get the short end of the stick every now and then in the industry. So they're just overworked. Well, Snardum, I wish you well as your life as a open source sleeper agent. Um, I'm sure you're gonna crush it though. Fingers crossed. I believe it. I believe it. Believe in you. Believe in the me that believes in you. Row, row. Okay, just introducing a small amount of curvature to a lot of these. Straight lines are boring. So just giving it a very slight amount of curvature helps. Just make things more appealing. That's so very cool that big studios using Blend. Oh, absolutely. I can't remember. Was the biggest studio lately that was using it? Oh, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. They use Blender. That looks weird. I don't like that. I do not like that. Into the Spider-Verse Lego movies, some of the more recent ones, if I'm not mistaken. But it all depends on the studio you work for if you're looking for that kind of gig. Hey, Steve Austin just subscribed. Thank you for the subscription, Steve. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Blender addiction. If you like VR chat avatars, Blender, you're in the right spot. I wonder if I could space these evenly. I guess I just gotta move manually. Looks cool though. Can't wait to slice things. Okay, I think the axe is done. We can go ahead and hide that. And we've done enough work now that I feel we should make a backup copy. All right, so we did the axe. Axe is done. Wings, not quite done. But I'd rather finish the body first. Legs, very, very close to finished. Very close to finished. How's the body work so far, by the way? I've only seen the axe today. Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll pop the rest of them open. I just have to close all these little gaps. That's the hard part with this kind of work, or like mech work. It's all these little tiny gaps everywhere. But yeah, so there's the legs, and there's the body, head, and wings. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Make this brighter. Yeah. But look pretty cool. Looking pretty cool. Do you have any tips of the learning process? Because I want to create characters, but I think first props is better, right? It totally depends because there's no inherent difference between them besides rigging the characters. Certainly, there's a little bit less to learn if you're just going to make a prop, but you can make something that has the same. You can make a character that is just like as simple as can be, and that's what I would recommend starting with. It's just learning not necessarily how to make the perfect asset, but what the process is, because that's going to save you the most money. Because you could spend months making the most perfect gun, and then if you don't know how to get that into the game, that or how to export it and make it ready for a game, that's going to be a lot tougher. So I would try to get from the beginning to whatever your end goal is in the simplest way first. And then just continue to do like a one small step every time you go through it again. Those gaps kill me in Rito. I mean, I could bake them, but it feels wrong when some parts feel so nice to separate. Yeah, some of these pieces on the elbow, and then the back of the head. I'm like, those will have to be their own thing. I'd say start with what you want to make. If you force yourself to make something you're not interested in, you will burn yourself out on the learning process. Exactly. Exactly. I think that's a good way to approach it. You're like, I want my character, what's the simplest version of my character and get them through. And then just go from there. And continue to layer it. Your goal in the beginning is not to learn everything the fastest, but to iterate in your process of learning and making that feel good so you can keep coming back to it. Like how you learn is more important than what you're learning. Because if you can repeat endlessly learning, then you can learn whatever you want, if you learn how to repeat it, then you're good to go. Sky's the limit. I'm gonna go ahead and close this up. Like that. No, we need to separate it. Let's just pop this off. Boom, boom. Anyway, that may sound vague, but yeah, definitely starting with what interests you, like Snardom is saying, is probably the best. Like, what will actually motivate you to finish it, to get to that end point. And a lot of the times, it's going to be the stuff that actually matters to you. I got my OCs, right? Stuff like that. Can I make a confession here? Yes. Depends on the nature of it. If it's a murder confession, I'm not interested. Spicy confession. I am the Messiah of Spice. Call me Paul. Call me Paul. I'm going to anyways. I have not done the donut tutorial in Blender. I must confess I did not either. And I've gotten into arguments with Andrew Price before, so I don't particularly. I don't have I wouldn't say I dislike him, but I have some disagreements with him. Never, ever. It's easy to recommend because people know of it. Um, donut kind of boring. Yeah, exactly. I want to make it. Oh, the info probably. I just wasn't interested in the idea of a donut myself. Yeah, I think uh one program I thought was really nice to recommend was the Vroid program. Um Vroid Hub, if anyone's familiar with that. Because it just kind of such a good starting point. Like you don't have to know everything to make a character. And I think there's a lot of value in that to just start getting in and like messing with things and breaking things. Uh, there's a lot of value there. A lot of value to be had. Yeah, the blended donut, I don't want to do that either. Good. I think it's almost like a meme at this point. It's just kind of become its own thing. It's not really the most helpful way to get into this. That spot's tough right there. This little cheek thing. Mm. We're going to crease those instead. I'm going to take this whole chunk of stuff. Just extrude it. This is going to be how we make the rest of these. This is the HP still? Correct. Correct. Yeah, we're working on the getting that high res done. Very close to finished. I just don't like sculpting um, hard surface. It feels like a waste of time when I sculpt hard surface. Because I just end up doing this anyway. But we'll get there. It'll take a little bit, though. It'll take a little bit. Okay, select this one. I'm just going to assign it this darker color. But the one nice thing about doing the subdivisions is that I will have like a lot of geometry to just extract my retopology starting point from. I think that will be quite useful. Just me shop sidelines. I don't like creases in hard surf. I just end up fighting shading like that. Prefer to loop around with more support loops. I'll probably have to do the same thing as well. But I just want to keep the amount of things that I'm moving around to a minimum right now. There's just a lot of moving parts at the moment. And let's go ahead and merge these there. But I do agree with you. You do end up fighting subdivision modifiers a lot, to be exact. That's pretty good. I think that's working well. Something like this. But yeah, you get these little poles. No good. No good. But I'm really enjoying the bevel modifier. That is fun. It's really nice to make things like soft looking, which I enjoy. I'm gonna crease this. Extrude it 0.6 SX0. Just close up this gap in the armor right there. I need a hero. Loving the look so far. Thank you. Donkey. Is there no bevel crease? I guess not. But yeah, I just love the little soft little lighting that pops up there. Makes my mouth water. These tubes are really the only thing that I just feel like I'm really not sure what to do about them. Like, I just gotta work around them in a lot of ways because they don't really fit into anything. I'm gonna animate this also. I will make it VR ready. So if you aren't familiar with VR chat, it's a social platform where you can upload your own characters and stuff. And when you're in VR, when you move, your character moves. So be rigging it so that when people are in game, it'll match their movements. So animated in a sense, but I'm not going to make it, not going to make animations with it. But it will be moving and moving around, which I'm excited about. Animation ready. Plus caveats, caveats. Then we'll add one more mirror to it. Needs more space. Are they further back in? It's really hard to tell what these little ones are doing right there. Let's do that. We'll just do that. All right, grab the back, move it forward. How long hours are you making this hard surface model? We started Monday, and I've been working on him in the morning, so about 8 hours of work so far. 9 hours. Tube here. Tubular. How the arm attaches is going to be up to me, I suppose. I think we'll just use these. That's really all I can do. Put it on the body, though. And then I think I'll take on the arm. We have these little things here. I'm going to duplicate those, send them to the body, and good morning, Zen. Welcome. Hope your day's been going good so far. Finally able to see you work on my model live. Well, welcome. Hope you're having a good start to your Wednesday. We're kind of in the midst of figuring it all out. We're trying to invent how the joint connects. Shouldn't be too big. This I might make bigger though. Longer. It's got to be over more like that. I don't know. We just need to fill in this space with something. I think we'll use the black like we did down here. This void material. We'll do another void in here. Probably some void here. Just be like, don't look in there. You could look in there, but you won't. We won't let you. So take this, shrink it, move it down, fill it, separate it. give it the void. Points. Try to move this over a little. All right, that's nice. I like that. Yeah, so I think for some of the gaps, we are just going to have like a fill material so that we don't have to engineer a perfect solution. The temptation with making some mech surface stuff like this is a lot of times you're like, I'll make it actually work. It's like, yes, you can, but it'll get more fragile to work with if you do. So we're gonna fill it in. Also, I'm standing up now, and that's what this artist did too. I mean, you can see the void right in there. So we'll just have a few spots of void. And on this one, actually, I'm going to extrude it one more time. I'm going to shrink it in, move it out, grow my selection. But do you have to retopo this? Yes. Yes, I definitely will. Right now it is far too dense. It in this state it would not run. And I can show you with my stats. So if I turn on statistics here, you can see that we're at not a crazy number, but 418,000 triangles. We need to be under 70,000. So we will definitely need to optimize. And basically for like each of these segments, I'll be like this upper arm segment. That's going to be its own object. We'll create a cage that goes around this. The closer you get to make it actually work, the more likely it is you put your 3D model on Pictures and Dynamics. I'm a startup. I'm a tech startup now. And we're going to take our little interior spot here. Squish it in. Yeah, I think I'd prefer that. Or actually just move these up. Butt flaps. Maybe a little bit thicker. It's got them thick mud flaps. Dude. So in here, on our model, I'm going to take this sector and we're going to assign another material. I think it would be very fitting that the model will have some void in it with the space theme. Void Dragon. It definitely, like what I've been saying this a lot on stream, but it very much gives me like makes me reminisce on Zoids and Zoids in general. Like I just keep thinking about it, man. I liked Zoids. Zoids were cool. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, we're very close to finish now. Suddenly it feels like it's all coming together. But we do need to make a hand, which will be one of the trickier parts of this whole thing. Not terrible, but tricky. But tricky. So we'll start with this. Actually, we'll start with a circle of 8. Hit it with a subdivision. This will be like the wrist portion. Zoids are great. I've done a few Zoid model kits and they always turn out so nicely. They're great. They're great. If you dream for me to work from home in the 3D field, this gives me so much motivation. Thanks for streaming. Absolutely, absolutely, Chavalowski. Definitely would want to encourage your desire for this. Working from home is difficult when you're not streaming. Just my only caveat there. But it is certainly doable. Certainly a doable thing. For this one, I may actually just sculpt the hand first. I think that's going to be easier. I'm going to go in. I'm going to make a cube. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This would probably be the only element of this whole character I actually sculpt. Make it a little bit bigger. It's funny, we're basically going to retopo this twice. All right, Alt D. This is my hand workflow, by the way, for anyone. Oh, hello, Draw. Wondering how I do my sculpture workflow for hands. This is basically it. And I'm duplicating with Alt D, not Shift D. Alt D. Very important distinction there. Because now they share information between each other. Difficult to be dedicated, more like some inspirational work. It's just hard to stay focused sometimes when you work. If you don't have that issue, many people don't, but I've just found that you definitely have to take your attention span and mental health quite seriously when you work from home. But again, very doable. Just gotta find the right setup for yourself. Again, looking great so far. I'm gonna hop off again. Hope to see some more later. Sounds good, Snardom. Wishing you well with that trial class, and looking forward to seeing you later. All right, and now we can remesh this, which allows us to go in and we'll start doing some sculpting. And we're going to sculpt just because it's going to be hard to get this exact shape right out the gate. So maybe. I mean, might have been easier than I thought, but who knows? That was my gut instinct. Get these nice curved fingers. Finger tips. All right, and then we'll just kind of go in here, do a box mask. Maybe a lasso mask. Invert the selection. Actually, we'll go the other way. Mesh filter, inflate, and we're just going to push it down to right about there. Okay. And I'm just going to work it a little bit more. Get a good approximation of what we will then use subdiv modifiers to make. I understand now. For me, I have some fear of that. I'm too late because I start now and I'm 27. I think you could enter this at any age. Yeah, I would say I really got started with this particular type of work. I'm 32. I have to think about that. Old. No, just kidding. But I am 32. Yes. Very old. And it's definitely doable any age you want to enter it. But yeah, there you go. Draw the secret revealed. Not that it's really a secret, but you're a baby. Can I share this reference? Yeah, let me show. I'll show you in just one moment. But yeah, here's our mech character that we're working on. I thought you were like 26 top. Well, I certainly take that as a compliment. But yeah, I've been doing this for a while, for quite a while now. Didn't think I'd end up in VR chat land, but I'm happy I did. Well, thank you all. I definitely take that as a compliment. Maybe one day I'll get younger. We'll see how that goes. But hopefully that makes you 43 here and going for this 3D career. Heck yeah, Sky. Heck yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I think the nice part about 3D or art career is it's all about the work you make. I think there's some other careers, like certainly like actual hard labor. Like there's a cutoff there no matter what. But with this kind of work, if you are able to do it, you can get work. There's not a ton of places like that. With the knowledge work that exists, and so it's changing quite a bit, which is good. I mean, link or PNG because I'm also thinking to model it. This is a private commission. Appreciate your interest, but this is a client's reference. Make a hand. But definitely would love to see what kind of mech you make. I need a hero. Oh, I forgot the thumb. I forgot the thumb. Yeah, Zoids. If you're looking for cool robots, we were just talking about Zoids. Awesome stuff. Mechs are great. Do I also review some portfolios? I'd be happy to. Yeah, if you have a portfolio you'd like to send, I definitely would take a look. Do you know what type of field you're looking to enter? Like, are you looking for games specifically, or just generally digital work? All right, that looks pretty good. I'd say that's pretty close to the hand I'm seeing here. A little bit more adjusting. Just kind of smooth that out. There. Boom. I'd love to make it in the gaming industry, but I'm a little scared that's too high to enter. No, there's huge variation in the game industry. I mean, if you're like want to work at Valve, then that may be quite difficult, or something like that, where you only want to work at one company. But there's definitely a lot more and more people. It may not even be games, but there's many companies that use game engines these days. Like if you look at architecture, they use Unreal Engine day in and day out now, because it's just easy to set up. Anyway, suffice to say, there's a lot of startups, a lot of different areas you could find work in, and also freelancing is definitely there's freelancing. You'll definitely find a lot of different work there. you know, it may be easier. I'm always torn to recommend either become a jack of all trades or specialize. I think that specialization may get you work quicker for certain things, but like if you just got really good at rigging. Um, how much modeling should be learned for a freelance project? It totally depends on your portfolio. It's not necessarily about how much work should I do, but the quality of the work. Like you could have 3 to 5 images in a portfolio, even just three, and as long as they're high quality, um, and you can prove you're a real person, that's an important thing online these days. Um, that's a big part of why I stream, or at least why I started streaming, was to prove that I am a human. I am actually doing what I'm saying I'm doing. So perhaps make some YouTube videos of yourself working as well on those particular projects. Um, but it does just come down to portfolio. Like if you have the quality, people will hire you. It's not about how many items are in your portfolio. In fact, I would say you want no more than 5 or 7 images in a portfolio you send to a potential client. And it should be very targeted. Like you don't want to show, like if someone's hiring for, oh, I want you to model props, don't send them anything but prop modeling examples, because you really want them to there's a bunch of variation here, but generally that's what I'd recommend. Thank you. But first, to create some cool stuff. Exactly. Definitely reassuring to me when I saw you stream the whole process of modeling. Exactly. It's just peace of mind. Can you suggest me some things to model for my portfolio? Because I model in Blender, Maya, and 3ds Max also. I think it would be easier for you to identify where you want to work and go to ArtStation and look at people's portfolios that are doing that kind of work, because that's exactly how they're getting hired. Like, if you go into ArtStation, you're like, wow, I love this person's work. They're doing what I want to do. And what you want is a portfolio that looks like their portfolio with the same kinds of stuff in it. Um, yeah, I think that that would be the best way to approach it. Okay, so here's our hand block out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get our circle back. And we're going to use this as a reference. Thanks for the suggestions. Absolutely. Absolutely done. Donna J. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of mystery to this process from the outside. Um, so happy to provide some insight to it. It's not. It makes more sense once you're in it. Oh, it's such an easy thing for me to say, but uh, yeah, with artwork, portfolio is all that matters. But there are more art opportunities than just doing art. Like if you're really good at rigging, you like will never ever run out of work ever, because every animation project needs rigging. Every so you can specialize and you can do things that aren't quite art. Art in the sense of like from scratch, I'm gonna be making this or that or whatever. Like you can really just focus on very valuable part of the pipeline. So maybe it'd be best to say, think of it as a pipeline and identify things you can do in that pipeline. Because yeah, genuinely, if you got really good at rigging, I will just say it again, you would never run out of work. People need people to rig things. And especially on like big studios where you've got someone, you don't want your sculptor or whoever or your animator to be spending time rigging, because they need to be spending time animating. Anyway, so if just getting work of any kind is your main goal, there are many other opportunities in this process aside from just making the artwork, because it's all making the artwork at the end of the day, especially if you're part of a big team. What is the meaning of rigging? Rigging is where you take your character and you attach it to a skeleton. Um, so I can show you a quick example. If I go to, this is a character I finished recently. So this is a bird guy I made for a client, and this is a rig that's on top of him. And what the rig does is allows for movement. So you can move them around, and rigging is the process of attaching this model, which looks like this, so this model here, to the skeleton, and getting it moving. And also just like how you interact with the puppet, what controls you give the puppet. Like those things can be pretty complicated to make, but there's a lot of satisfaction, and it's always needed on animation studios. What points make us different from others? What point makes you different from modelers, or what makes modelers different? If modeling just comes down to your portfolio again, anything that's like that can only be judged by visual quality, then all that matters is your portfolio. Um, like, kind of wish it wasn't the case in some ways, because it can be a little harsh. Um, when you're getting like applying to things, and like they look at your portfolios really quick, like genuinely less than 5 seconds for less than 20 seconds for a portfolio, which may sound wild, but I mean, your portfolio is usually getting judged by other artists, and they can move through it quick and get a good idea of your experience level really quickly, um, just with a glance, really. Especially for if you're looking at for that type of job, like oh, the type of job that they're familiar with. Oh. All right, so 1 second. I'm going to move my cursor here. I'm going to set the origin of this to the cursor. And then what I'm going to do, Alt-D. Oh, never mind. Separate the finger. Anyway, certainly not all doom and gloom. There's a lot of opportunity in this kind of field, and I do think there will continue to be more and more. Uh, all right, I think that works pretty well. And since I use the Alt-D duplication, I can continue to make edits to these, all of them at once, which is very nice. How is to work in the gaming industry? Because it looks to me very cool, but also a lot of stress. It's very stressful. It is very stressful. But it also really does depend on the kind of company you're working for. I think one thing you need to know is that, and before entering the game industry, is that your employment usually depends on the projects you're involved in. Like companies hire a lot of people for a game, and when that game's over, you're probably going to be let go. So you have like, if you're in the industry, usually you have cycles of employment from like, or getting employed for like let's say 2 to 5 years at different companies, because it's all project based. That might be different for companies like that have MMOs or very long lived games. Um, but generally that's what it's like, which is rough, which is why there's a lot of freelance in the industry. Because if you're going to be, if that's the nature of it, then you might as well embrace working for a bunch of different companies. um, it can be very rough. It can be very rough, but certainly not all doom and gloom. It's just very different from other industries, maybe except VFX, and they're probably even more project oriented. I do think that one thing you just need to prepare yourself is this is harder than other forms of employment. Is that not a better idea to work as an independent contractor than to just be uh, fired at the project end? Totally depends. I mean, independent contractors don't have healthcare, or you have to get your own form of healthcare. Uh, so it varies. Depends on what you need as an individual. Do I stream regularly? I'm here every weekday. Every weekday. Yeah, there's keep losing track of the hand. There it is. Is there an image of the top of his hand? No, just that one image of the hand. Okay. All right, USA. In the EU, no one thinks about healthcare because it's a given fact. Too bad there's not that many game companies in the EU. Or not as many, I should say. But that is one benefit of freelance. Thank you. Thank you, Donna J. I appreciate that. And we'll take this. And export this over here. And I was going to change it to, yeah, let's do this. We'll move that over. That looks good. Yeah, with the layouts of, now I'm your subscriber. Much appreciated. I should have gotten a notification. Or maybe you subscribed on a different spot. But thank you. Thank you, Don G. Much appreciated. And yeah, if you ever have any questions, feel free to come on by. I'm almost always here. Also, hello, what they mean. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Same here. So much information given. It's so motivating. I'm happy to hear that. I'm very happy to hear that. I love what I do. It's a difficult space sometimes. All I've said about the game industry, definitely keep in mind that VR chat and other platforms are growing, and they'll be a very big part of what the future of this industry looks like. I think that more and more will be working on platforms instead of at game companies, whatever that ends up being. But yeah. Anyway, but you're welcome and thank you. And rotate that. VR chat, you said? Yes, that's where I get most of my work. I don't actually work for many studios or game companies these days. I just work for individuals. So I make their character for them. And I love it. I really love it. It's its own world, really. Especially compared to the industry. But I think more and more companies will be looking at VR chat and games like this as a point of interest. What's going on in there? Can we make money in this space? So. Bam. And here we go. All right, now we can take this whole thing. Yeah. That'll work. Flatten it. And we've got a nice little hand cover. Whatever this is. Actually, I've modeled the Transformers Bumblebee. If it is possible, can you review it? Yeah, feel free to link your portfolio if you'd like. You know what? This probably connects all the way over here. So, I think what we'll do is we'll take this outer ring, duplicate it, and flip it, and move it over here. I can connect these. All right. Looking at this, just trying to double check another scene. See, I think this is like the same thing here. Or it's mirrored. Hello, GGHHR. Welcome. Any sneeze? Welcome to the stream. A little bit of fanfare on that one with my sneeze. We're working on a mech right now. I'll show him in just a moment. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Play? Are you Play? Is this a separate account or is this a new chatter? Boop, boop. Gotcha. Well, hello. Welcome back, Play. Hello. Hope you're having a good one. We are well into working on this mech now. Should be able to finish up the hand, and then we'll be starting retopology very soon. So I use AutoRig Pro. Would you say it's well worth add-on? If you are familiar with how rigging works and what I would say, rig a few characters on your own without AutoRig Pro, and then get it. What's the deadline for this hard surface character? I have about another. I'm going to be trying to finish this avatar by next Friday. And we have another one that we're working on at the same time. And we're going to try to finish that one this Friday. So I tried to do one a week. If I'm moving quick, it's one a week. Doesn't always work out that way. Certainly some characters are more complicated. AutoRig hard to understand. It can be. It can. You just need to have some experience with rigging itself, so you know what you're getting into. You know what you want out of it. But it's not too hard. It's just different. Oh, I have a question. I assume you know Unreal Engine as well. A little. If you would have to create a character for a game in Unreal, would you use the default mannequin or would you start from 0? It depends on what my end goal is. If I'm going to make a game, then I would spend as little time modeling as possible. If I'm going to be just making the character, then you might as well hop into Blender. You can also import the mannequin into Blender to just see how it works and break it apart and stuff. I tried Rigify, Mixamo, and other ways, but I am not satisfied. Well, I definitely have some experience then. Yeah, I would say it has some features like Mixamo for AutoRig Pro. Still definitely its own beast, though. It's got its own limitations and problems. I can't recommend it directly. Yeah, I can recommend it. It's good. I like it a lot. I will use it for a long time. I think that it's very much worth my VR chat workflow, especially if you're working with a game engine, because it has some automatic export features that I think are worth it. Like it knows how to export from Blender to Unity, kind of speeds up that process. and it's much more polished than Rigify. But if you're familiar with Rigify, then AutoRig Pro probably worth it. Um, the one last thing I'll say about it is that I believe they have a refund policy on the Blender market. So if you purchase it on the Blender market and you don't like it, you should probably get your money refunded. Um, but yeah, for making game characters, what they mean, definitely if you're trying to go the indie dev route and just make your own game, really your only concern to start with is just how the game actually functions. And I think all your modeling should come second. It'll otherwise you will not be able to finish your game. You want to finish the game before basically want to have your game really thoroughly understood, plotted out before you make any assets. Otherwise, your development time is just balloons. Uh, can I make a game in UE? I could. No, I'd like to say yes, but I have not used Unreal Engine as much as Unity. Thanks. I ended up using it because I want to make my own VR chat avatar. Heck yeah. Well, I do have a rigging tutorial. If you go to my videos, you go down about 8 videos. I do have an Auto Rig Pro rigging tutorial I did for a VR chat avatar. Um, definitely check that out if you're going to use it. Should help. No, hopefully, hopefully it helps. Thank you. Yeah. Let me know how it helps because it's definitely all my tips and tricks for rigging. There's a few more that I have yet to include in the tutorial, but it covers the essentials at the very least. Bam, bam. Okay, I think we're getting very close to finish the hand here. Just need to close up this gap right here. Gap. And then bam. Do I also have a Discord server? I do. Let me go ahead and link that here. You're on YouTube, so I'll have to link it manually. I have yet to set up any commands or info on my YouTube. I'm on multi-stream for anyone who's curious who these other people I'm talking to are. But yeah, it should be posted. Um, I'm trying to be more active in it. I can be a little lazy about responding sometimes, so I'm trying to trying to be a bit better on that on Discord at least. And I think we'll just close this one like that. A little goofy, but that would work. Yeah. Okay. There we go. RoboHand. Looks pretty close. I think we could make the palm a little bit squished, less rounded. Okay. And I think we'll do one more loop on the back to be like the wrist attachment point. Like this. And we'll crease those. And point to E, extrude and shrink. A little bit bigger. All right, that feels pretty cool, honestly. Honestly. Then we just need this middle part as well. Just looks like it's rounded. I guess I could connect these. Bridge. And bridge. Let's get those nice and connected, and then we'll take this last little piece in here and extrude it back. Be like kind of connecting point. And then here, I'm going to isolate this. I'm going to crease this interior edge, and then we're going to fill it. I don't think that's the right way to approach it. I think what we'll do instead is we'll take this, duplicate it again, move it forward, shrink it down, and we're just going to fill it. There's going to be kind of a little fill here, like this. Yeah, let me know if you have any more questions. I'll probably be spacing out a little bit as I focus on this, but I'm certainly here for anyone else's questions. But also I'm prone to spacing out, so feel free to prompt me. And turn up the subdivision here. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Join Discord server, thanks. Absolutely, absolutely. Heck yeah. Okay, shared your model. Well, I'll take a look in just one moment. And squish that down. Just fill this in. Boom. All right. Yes, it looks cool. It looks cool. Okay. All right, let's take a look at that blender here. Thanks. Bumblebee. Okay. So I think definitely just my immediate instinct is when I see this, I know that you're still learning. A few things that kind of inform me that you're still learning are the lighting and the posing. So because it's not like if I was to do like a promotional image, I'd have like a dynamic pose or something. That'd really help kind of sell and like some nice lighting. Like if you look at like product imagery, like imagine look at like how a car, the lighting on like a nice car, probably do the same here for your character. What I'd want to see if I was to hire you right now, I can tell you can model, but I don't see any evidence of UV unwrapping. So I think that, like, I think maybe your wheels have textures on them, but I'd want to see a little bit more texturing on the, like maybe decals or something, that me know you understand how to put the images and texture things onto the model. I don't mind the simple background, but again, just some better lighting would really help. You can keep the background blank, or like you definitely want the focus to be on the character. I think, yeah, when you say UV unwrap this texture here, the like little spotted texture, because it doesn't, it's very uniform. It doesn't really sell the look of the character. But overall, it's definitely, I can definitely tell that you know you're modeling and you're working towards making characters. So there's definitely a lot of potential here. Yeah. The only other thing I'll say is that you'll probably want to emphasize your ability to make good materials if you're going to be doing Blender work. Like right now, there's no glossiness or metallic. Your lighting could really help that as well, to emphasize that, oh, the tires are rubber, and then this is glossy with like a paint varnish, and then this interior area is like a plastic or something, but helping sell those materials. Hey, Amazon Find, hello, welcome. Lacine Vithon, thank you for the subscription. Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello. Let me know if you have any questions. Right now I'm reviewing Donna J's work, um, and I'll be showing off what I'm making in just a moment. Lastly, everything else feels quite detailed, but the feet feel very simple relative to the rest of the body. I think that these could do with a bit more development, especially on this surface right here. But overall, great work. Definitely learning 3D, and it's good to see. I wish you continued success on your journey, Donna J. And yeah, if you ever want me to take a look at any of your other work, just feel free to post it in the Discord or catch me on stream. Yeah, great work. Fantastic. It's good to see people learn. That's the whole fun part of this stuff. I'm just trying to make a filling, like a filling on the hands here. Oh yeah, for anyone that just joined, this is what we're working on right now. We're making a VR chat avatar. This is Zin, the mech dragon. We've got quite a bit done so far. It's got a nice cool tail. And yeah, we're just kind of doing one step at a time, and soon we'll be retopology, into the retopology stage. But for now, we make the hands. Do I have a website? I do. It's samdutter.com. But my portfolio is on samdutter.artstation. So I'll go ahead and paste that in chat here, right here. My first model now is a barrel. I see this bumblebee. I think, holy cow, it's so sick. Good. Now that you gotta have goals, you gotta be inspired. But there's my website, and then my website's just samdutter.com right here, which has some work. This is one of the characters I made. There's another, and then my commission info's here as well. I believe on Twitch it should be up, but on YouTube I still need to get my links all sorted and created. Excuse me. Do I have a Blender course? Not yet. I'm working on one. I'm just in the beginning stages of making a kind of end-to-end VR chat tutorial on like how to do my whole process here. But you certainly can learn a lot just by coming by the streams. But I am hoping to have something a little bit more polished and professional. But I appreciate you asking, Amazon. I can say for sure that I really wish I had one right now. I really wish I had it going at the moment, because I think it would be worth it to have one and direct people to it. Okay, I think that's all pretty good. This edge right here is a little goofy. I'm gonna take this one and say make single user. Go in and delete this back ring right there, because we need to do that. This one. Crease, extrude, shrink, and I think we'll just combine these two. There we go. And now we've got a hand. Nice. I'm pleased with that. Came out really well. Let's make a backup copy because that was a lot of work. These are always those things that you really don't want to redo later. And I think we're going to go ahead and start on our retopology now. Start with the X. I'm bad at drawing, then I learned character sculpting and modeling. I mean, that's definitely a direction to go. I would certainly encourage anyone that wants to make characters to learn to study life drawing either way. That's like drawing figures in clothing or bodies and stuff. Very, very informative on anatomy and how to make good characters. It's a little small. We can make it bigger right there. So arms do feel too big this way. But Render, thank you for coming by. Thank you for chatting. It all blends together. I feel that the more I learn about 3D, the better my drawing gets anyway. So I learned also with some courses, but what are you recommended? Follow the whole course with the same object or do your own object with the course? For me, when it comes to learning, it is about your main concern is about what will make you come back. If you think that doing the course will excite you to make your own thing, then you might as well do the course. But if you get bored with the course, then I would absolutely recommend doing your own thing. Because over the long term, all that really matters is sorry, one second. Your ability to return to the work. So like if you start disliking this or it bores you, then you want to do everything you can to find a way to make it fun again. And a lot of times that is doing your own personal work. It's good to have goals that are for yourself. You're like, oh, I like doing this because I find it fun. I think that's very valuable. Because no matter what, if you're putting in the time, if you look back, you're like, I worked at this for like a really, really long time. Like I've been doing this for 5 years, and every month I've put in at least 20 hours. I'm standing. Then you're going to get there no matter what. So your only concern is what will make you be consistent with your time. Thought I'd be able to watch stream while working. Ended up being more busy than I thought. Well, that's okay, Mr. Lovely. You made it now. Appreciate you coming by. And hello. Happy Wednesday. And I apologize, Chava. That may not be the answer you're looking for, but I think it's the most important one. Hello, Nasicha. Welcome. I'm going to sit down now, though. Come. I'm going to sit down now. So we're going to select the metal portions. Made this a little bit more challenging for myself than I intended. I'm doing well. I'm doing quite well. Enjoying our process here of making this avatar. No problem. The information you give is better than nothing. Good. Good. Happy to help. But yeah, we're working. I'll show you the mech in just a second. We just finished his hand. The thumb, fingers in here too far. Here we go. Boom. Mark seam. And we're going to separate all the materials, and then we're going to start on the retopology aspect of the character. We're going to be making the cage around all of our detailed objects. Oops. And but how's your day going? Working on anything fun lately? Mr. Lumley, yeah, are you working on anything fun? I'm asking all of you. I'm asking all. Anyone in chat working on anything fun? So excited to retopo. That looks so difficult. Some parts of it will be. There we go. Nice little breakup of the shape there. I could share in Discord. Okay, yeah. Substance Painter mainly. My goodness. Other character modeling can recommend a course. I will be making it in about a month for the my whole process. In the meantime, I think your main concern is just finding good tutorials, which is what you asked. But I think finding just starting with a project that you like, and then continuing to find information that will help you make your own project. Yeah, go ahead and put in the Blender channel. Bold strategy kind of one. It's really hard because I can't even make a single body. It took me so much time and I failed terribly. I think that you need to look when you're getting into this, you should only care about your wins. And the win was you got in Blender and you learned how to at least do some stuff in Blender. It will be small steps at first. And that's okay. That's just what it is. You know, it's better to have not done exactly what you wanted than to have done nothing at all. Some sort of joint there. Any major differences working on hard surface avatars versus non-hard surface avatars? It's mainly the sculpting. So here I kind of made it like piece by piece, but in a like an organic character, like the Minotaur I was working on yesterday. It's it's all Oh, hello, Sammy Bye. Thank you for the subscription. Much appreciated. Thank you. But you're mainly pushing around like lumps of clay, whereas here you're making like individual pieces. But once you've done all that, the retopology is pretty much the exact same thing. Let's take a look at Blender. Hey, oh, those teeth. It's a teeth and mouth. Interesting. Oh, gold claws. Gold claws. Interesting. Very cool. I like the blue in there. And also, are these teeth here? There's a teeth and tongue with whiskers. Very cool. Very cool stuff. It's going to be a vibrant character. Very vibrant. All right, we're going to make one more backup save. And we're going to take all these different pieces, drop it into... Actually, I'm going to make a new collection for the hand, because that will probably be a little annoying to work with otherwise. Hand goes there. These are all the hand pieces I have left over. We can delete those. I just saved, so yeah. All right, hide the hand. And now we're gonna retopologize the axe. Make one more collection. Retopo axe. Okay. And so begins retopology. So this process isn't too bad, especially because Blender has now introduced the retopology shading. So if you go into your view up here, you can click retopology. And what that does is it overlays your view onto the mesh in a lot easier way. Super, super nice. It was very much, it was basically impossible to work with otherwise. But now it is the only thing that's really, it's the best. I love this. Okay, so for the axe, the HP axe, I'm actually going to take all of it, mesh it, and combine it. We'll call this Skull Axe. In future, can you make your own course? Yes, I will. I would like to. It'll be for making VR chat avatars, at least at first. But it would be applicable to any character really. Any character you make in Unity. This should be projecting. There we go. Is that Blender 4.0? We're in 3.6.1. So not quite 4.0 yet. Maybe I'll upgrade soon. It's always kind of a toss-up when upgrading because it's like, I don't want it to break. Hello, Angel. Welcome. The stream is going well. Thank you for asking. And welcome. How's your day going? You sometimes do pet followers for the avatars. That's something I thought would be really cool to do. Because I think people would love it. But I have not done it yet. I'm sorry, I take it back. I've made a little follower before, but nothing fully featured, nothing developed. Maybe I'll make that its own commission category. My day's going well. How about you? Super good, super good. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. But the Retopo feature is an add-on, or is that built in Blender? Everything I'm doing right now is built in. Retopo flow right here up top, that is a an add-on, but I don't really use it anymore. Ever since I realized that I have the retopology view here, I really just use that and standard modeling because it's great, honestly. I don't think you have to use anything else for the most part. Just seen the hollow tile floor? Is that the Disney thing? Let's see. Hollow tile. Ooh. I saw some GIFs of this. This is a weird article. Yes, the future of VR. He shuffled like an old man.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, Lanny, great to see you.
Great to see you.
We heard about your upcoming induction into the National Inventors Hall of Fame, and we know you're very busy.
I'm sorry.
Have me stay on the floor. And what's amazing about this is multiple people can be on it and all walking independently. They can walk in virtual reality and so many other things.
So where are you hoping this tech ends up?
That's really cool.
You know, imagine a number of people being able to be...
I'll have to stop that for now, but I love the idea. I mean, I'm interested to see what it feels like to stand on. very interested because it could. He kind of like loses his balance for like a tiny moment, but but I mean that's the dream, right? Ready Player One style Steph. The one where he's sitting on a chair and a guy's moving on the floor with his hand gestures is funny. Let me come back. I'll check that out later, but oops. The guy's just like gesturing to move him around. Okay, I have to see that. Sorry. Let me load that. Okay. I'm not gonna search my history. Don't trust you all.
Come on in.
Where is that? It's in here.
Great catch.
I think you're right. It gives me an amazing opportunity to use these inventions that I've made in service of people having
Whoa.
fun.
Well, Laney, it's been great catching up with you. Thanks for...
We don't know yet where it'll be.
Well, it's official. I think you probably have one of the coolest jobs.
Yeah, I think you're right. It gives me an amazing
What?
opportunity to use these inventions that I've made in service of people having fun.
Well, Laney, it's been great catching up with you. Thanks for showing up.
Amazing. Amazing. That is really cool. Also hilarious though. Dad, get out of my VR room. Fucking telekinesis, shove him out of the room. Brace myself for it being $1 million squillion. I can't imagine that being any sort of home installation. I mean, I wish. There's a few other like treadmill things out there. You just, don't get one if you live above someone, though. That's just rude. From which country? I'm in Texas. So I'm in the United States. I'm Californian, and I live in Texas. Do you love coding? Do you learn PP language or Python? I know a little bit of C#, and that's about it. That's about it. I'm not a programmer. For me, it's all about the 3D modeling. For now, maybe eventually. Maybe someday I'll be a good programmer. But this is basically my retopology workflow. This one's a little different. I have some other strategies for different kinds of objects, but we'll show you the full shebang here. And I don't mind adding triangles. Do not mind adding triangles. Cool, from Texas. I'm from Nijmegen, the Netherlands, Holland. Nijmegen. Not sure how I would be able to pronounce that. Okay. Well, that's cool, Chava. A lot of Europeans come by. Can you make a fox? I have made foxes, but I definitely would not be making one today. You can always inquire about commissions if you're interested. If you're interested in commissioning me to make a fox, I would love to chat. Now this retopology process is very satisfying. It's kind of meditative, but it does take some time, but it's worth doing. I've never had better results on my characters than when I take the time to do retopology. It is satisfying. Weapons are usually the most fun, to be honest. Also, hello, Drop. You came by earlier. But hello again anyway. Oh yeah, I need to do your sketch request. We'll forget, so maybe we'll start that in about 20 minutes. I'll do it before I go to lunch. Hopped out for lunch and I'm back to Bully to hang out. Uh-oh. I'd like to get that done today. I don't want to forget any more. I'm prone to that. So we'll go the other way on this one. We'll make a triangle here. Like that. Like do that. Triangle is danger, haha. Machoba has to be square. It matters on what you're doing. Everything gets into triangles anyway. Like once you're in a game engine, it's all triangles. Just because that's what's actually getting rendered. If you're doing something that's going to subdivide, like you're making a mesh that you want to subdivide, then you should avoid triangles. The secret weapon of hard surface modeling, n-gons. It's true. It's true. It works well. But yeah, if you look at like mobile game characters, definitely go check out, look at Sketchfab sometime. It's a great resource for seeing how things are made. It's all triangles, baby. From Pakistan, I belong. Do you know Speedchar? I love your work, bro. Thank you. I know Speedchar, or I don't know him, but I've seen his work. And he definitely has a lot of good things to say. I haven't watched too much of his stuff, though. Triangles be a super good tool, but you do have to be careful where you put them. Once made a pair of glasses. Instead of trying to quad or try the lens, I made an n-gon, and it looks great in game. It's just about whatever works. All that matters is how it looks where you want it to. That it looks right where you want it to look right. Yeah, I use a lot of n-gon or triangles. Not a lot, but especially for this, because I know this mesh is going to be static. It's not going to bend or deform or anything. So I really don't mind just slapping in a bunch of triangles, because it's gonna be there as well. I thought Unity didn't render most n-gons. I believe Unity can automatically triangulate your mesh for you. So that's probably what's going on. So if you have a mesh, and it'll automatically get rid of your n-gons sometimes. I think you have to turn that on in your FBX settings. If not, then it's Blender triangulating. I think I'd rather have this one go this way. This go this way. Boom. Boom. And then space, and also loop tools, best addition for retopology. That way you know everything's spaced super evenly. Doesn't Blender do that automatically on FBX export? You have to tell it to do it. Okay, I remember seeing that most people use the beloved Boolean modifiers to having issued in Unity. That would definitely, those are some big n-gons. Those are the n-gons that scare you. The scary n-gons. Don't worry, n-gons can't hurt you. N-gon. 19-sided poly. Delicious. A great vintage of poly. 2, 3. How do I want to connect this? I think we'll go this way. Oops. Forgot to turn on this. And I don't know, the way it curves there, be better to take this out like that. But yeah, let me know if you all have any questions. I know a few new people came into the stream. Just want to say thank you for coming by, everyone. Hope you're all having an amazing Wednesday. And let me know if you have any questions. Right now, we're working on retopology of an axe. So we have a mech character, like a mech dragon. And that's what we're working on right now. Bam. And bam. And bam. Whoa. Bam. But I probably will space out a little bit because retopology always makes me space out. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to interrupt my my blank stare at any moment. Might need another cut right there. All right, let's do the axe blade. It's rounded here. We'll do another set of cuts. No, actually, first we'll continue our journey up. Then we'll do the cut in a moment. There we go. Right. Howdy, Astro Cricket. Welcome. Out of curiosity, compared to other commissioning done before, how hard do you expect my character to be to complete? You know, it's funny because the hard surface aspect of it won't be as difficult as all the expressions. That will probably be challenging. I could definitely see that being a day or two of just making all the different expressions because we'll need to make some set assets. We'll probably have to swap out certain facial features and stuff because I'd really like to make them look as close as possible to those drawings. Also, again, hello, Astro Cricket. Welcome to the stream. Happy Wednesday. But yeah, I'm very. That's the part I keep thinking about, and I'm going. That might be a little challenging. Because when it gets to be like kind of the further down the line you go with making Avatar, the more you're at like the very peak of a house of cards. And if I encounter something with the face, the odds are I will encounter something with the face where I'll have to go back and make some edits at a prior stage, which is what will take long. But overall, not too bad. I think, hey, what they mean, just subscribe. Thank you for the subscription. Welcome to the stream. Hello. Let me know if you have any questions. Right now we're working on an axe retopology. But hope you're having a good Wednesday. Thank you for coming by. But yeah, it is interesting how facial expressions very consistently are one of the harder things for this work. It's like in the process, the most difficult things are making good hair and expression. Because there's so much setup you have to do to get to the point where you can make the expressions, and especially when you're using shape keys or blend shapes, it's just an extra layer of application. It gets goofy. And we'll close that. Boom. Hello. I mean, due to YouTube's try very hard to hide your stream. Dude, YouTube's try it's very hard to hide your stream. I spent 30 minutes to find the stream because it closes. I close without sub. Well, I appreciate you hunting me down. But I'm sorry to hear YouTube's giving me some trouble. And welcome back. Hello. Never been here before, but been deep studying 3D, so YouTube suggested. Do you use Unreal as well? I have dabbled with Unreal, but my main focus is Unity for sure. I mainly make VR chat avatars here. That's like my area of expertise, and what I do full time. Well, what a juxtaposition. But welcome. Hello, Tangents. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Right. Yeah, a lot of different things here. Yeah, it sounds like when trying to make a mech, the expressions I request are going to be an experience. Yeah, that will definitely. I'm excited for them because I'm going to learn a lot. I know I will learn a lot making them because it will be a bit challenging, but that's a good thing, you know. Time to learn some new workflows and skills. That's the best part about this work. The learning don't stop. Retopology, kind of difficult work. Use add-ons for this in normal bases. I used to, and now I only use standard just the standard edit mode with this retopology view and shrink wrap modifiers. Which I have right here. I kind of abuse the shrink wrap, but I've just found it's difficult for me to use add-ons for retopology because I want to be able to use Blender like normal. Like right now when I just did this extrusion, that is actually kind of difficult to do in like RetopoFlow or other retopology things. It's like they come up with their own custom commands that don't rely on Blender, which I think is really silly. It's like they should just use what I know, especially if you're in Blender. Anyway, I have some gripes with RetopoFlow, and it's a little slow. But there are some really good tools in there, like to be able to relax the mesh, the contour. Like if you have a tube, like fingers and arms and stuff, they have this contour tool where you just like slice and it'll wrap mesh around it, around your arm or something. That's cool. I mean, there's definitely utility in that. But I've just found myself doing it this way now. Okay. Mostly because retopology is very, very directly related to UV mapping. You want to make your retopology object in a way that really makes it easy to UV unwrap. That's really the goal of retopology, is to make not that you make a good cage, but that you make it in a way you can unwrap really easily. That's actually kind of the main goal. Obviously, you want it to deform well. There's other constraints, but this one will be really easy. Weapons like this, where it's symmetrical and very flat, are pretty easy because you can just projection UV map it. So no need to use quad remesher. You can just do it manually with great practices. Yes, I think so. I really do want to make a tutorial on how I approach retopology. Perhaps I'll do that today, or I'll probably do it once I get to an organic character. This one will be a little bit different. There's a little different. What I have to say usually applies to organic characters a little bit more. But I will be making a tutorial for that because I call it the title of the video I've been imagining. I'm going to call it Squaring the Circle because, well, I can't really explain it just yet, but basically it's Xandor, ZBrush, or Blender, or both, I think. I just use Blender, but ZBrush is a great tool. There can be no argument that amazing work is created in ZBrush. But for what I do and what I need to do on a daily basis, I find Blender works just fine. It really just comes down to knowing how you can get similar results. But yeah, I mean, if you can do it in ZBrush, then yeah, there's no reason not to. I personally just prefer Blender because it's free, and it's open source, and I'm a big advocate for those things. I think that those things are very important. Actually, we'll go the other way. I'm going to merge it there. That. Here's turn it. Space. Right. Yeah, I love Blender. And it has some difficulties in like communicating how it expects you to do certain things. Like there's the multi-res modifier, remeshing, a few Dynatopo, and like all of those things work in different ways for how you sculpt things. And I don't think that Blender itself, the community, has done a great job of communicating what that means in terms of expectations. Like, why would you use Dynatopo over multi-res or this and that? Like, what the different moments to use those things are. No dono button. I don't have one on YouTube, but I should add one. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do have one on Twitch. I should make a coffee. I'll have to make a coffee. I appreciate that you asking about that, though, Patches. And a perpetual problem with the X mirror behaving like encrypted. Yes. Symmetry in Blender and sculpt mode and edit mode and back and forth has messed me up, has left me bruised and in pain. But yeah, sorry, if you don't mind, I can send you that dono button, or at least send you my Twitch channel, which does have my dono. Bam. So, Twitch link has been posted. But yeah, definitely an odd little open source world. Oops. Even after deleting half the mesh, adding and applying a mirror modifier, it still refuses to work at times. I have just given up on the symmetry. Are you referring to? Oh, hey, that is Patches Flows. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hello. Hello. When you say X mirror, are you referring to the mirror modifier or the symmetry tool? Hey, I unfortunately do not know how to pronounce your name, but thank you for the subscription. And I will not attempt that, but thank you. And welcome. Let me know if you have any questions. Been a busy stream. Thank you all for coming by. Feeling good, feeling happy. It's been getting busy on the stream. My goodness. Wow. VSLCR8TR. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Wow. Exciting. Exciting times. We're moving up in the world, y'all. One step at a time. I'm just scaling this so I can close the gap there. We're going to hop back in. Bam. It does feel exciting to be able to share this work. Symmetry, normally working on extra blend shapes or models or adding bits and pieces. Yes. Yes, 100%. It's the worst. It's like, oh, I grabbed this thing and then, hey, 555, coffee on me, King. Thank you, Patches Flows. Thank you for the donation. Much love. Thank you. Thank you so much. And let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to hop in the Discord as well if you want to share your work. Thanks again. But yeah, for anyone that's concerned about breaking their model, always be aware of the little devil in the corner here. The symmetry tool. Because it will take something you didn't even see and try to move it. Like, oh, you mean you want to move this object on the other side of your model? You want to move that to the middle and collapse it? No, I don't. The worst tool is the merge by distance forming. I rarely use that. I was surprised to hear it was bugging you. Perhaps it's on a hotkey or something. I don't know. The innocent looking butterfly. Painless butterfly. I started using that yesterday. Haha. Well, good. Hopefully, I saved you some time then, or at least some. You can figure out where the pain is coming from. Suddenly, all my fingers are merged together. The glove of pain. Jar food. Oh yes, I've accidentally sealed mouth shut and welded teeth together using that. Yeah, I think like it's worth just. The worst part is that the sculpt mode symmetry is linked together. So if you go into sculpt mode, turn on symmetry, you're sculpting or whatever, and then you go back into edit mode, it'll be back on. And it's like, why would I want that? No one wants this. All right, we're gonna try to connect these now as best we can. I want it. Mr. Lonely. Don't do it. She'll hurt you. I love my butterfly. He'll get hurt again. So I have several backup saves on any model I work on. The PTSD saving. Trauma response. Okay, we're going to scooch this forward. I would love these to be the same level, so I'm going to move that down. Right there. And then here we'll need one more cut, so I'll do it there. Yeah, mirror isn't great. There are breaks often. After I apply mirror, once a vert becomes unmirrored, there's like no way for me to fix it. Mirror topo doesn't work. Copy and paste the XYZ each vert doesn't even work sometimes. I feel like it should be a solved problem. I don't know if I've encountered that same problem in other programs either. It's really hard for me to gauge how often that happens, you know? It's like, is this a normal thing or is it just a Blender thing? Like, is symmetry just one of those things that's hard to do in 3D software? I feel like it should be solved, but sometimes snap to symmetry does work. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that was even an option. Interesting. Where is that? Where is snap to symmetry? Is it here? That's auto merge. I'm gonna Google that really quick. Snap back to reality. Mom spaghetti. Edit mode mesh snap to symmetry. Works in absolutes with location data on each vert. I feel like Marion should be the easiest thing in the world for 3D software. Yeah. There's no like question there. It should just work. Snap to symmetry. Interesting. So that's like an operation for your full mesh, though. Interesting. I'll have to give that a shot sometime. I think that could be a nice solution to dealing with that. I mean, I hope it is. I would like it to be a good solution for it. Boom. I think it works for selected verts in edit mode. Okay. Alrighty. All right, so I got about another hour worth of streaming. I'm gonna go get a drink really quick. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some hydration drink because I'm dehydrated from my coffee. I'll be right back. One moment, y'all. Yeah, excuse me. Hello, Zoom. Welcome. Hello. New office space. I actually just rotated. Now he's facing this wall. Now we're on this wall because we got a 3D printer. So we'll be messing around with that at some point. Sometime soon. I'm like pretty excited about it actually. I think I've been like wanting to start working on it and printing D&D stuff, but just like I feel like I don't have time, but I want to. I'm super pumped, Sky. It'd be really cool. Oh, also, hello, Layla. Welcome. Are you using anything special for backing up your models? Really annoying, but when I find out my mirroring isn't working anymore, but I also don't want to lose my work. Emre Uxel, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the subscription. Hello. Welcome. Let me know if you have any questions. Right now we're retopologizing in Axe. We're getting axy with it. But yeah, I'm pumped about the 3D printer. That's going to be very fun. It's going to make my D&D campaigns amazing. Because you know what I do after I'm done with a day of 3D modeling? I 3D model. Because I'm a psychopath. How much time with Blender to learn this? Hello, Con. Welcome back, Con. I'm not good in English speaking. Oh, you're totally fine. I understood your question. I would say you could get to this point in about 3 to 4 years if you're putting in a lot of time. So yeah, it takes time, but it's worth doing. I mean, I love it. I have a jaded perspective or a biased perspective. But I would say if you know exactly what you want to do, then it would take about 4 years of work, as long as you're being really diligent. And you can also get to other interesting spots. Like if you just focus on learning rigging, you might be easy to hire sooner. I use numbering for a model name 3.1, then model name 3.2, and so forth. Then I have a folder named backups with a squiggly blend files in there, so I don't lose which one I'm working. I do a numbering system as well. That works for me. So you got a 3D printer. Any plans to make some models to print yourself? Yes. D&D terrain, and we're gonna make little miniatures and stuff. That's the first plan, at least. Maybe I'll open up 3D printing commissions for avatars. I mean, I am tempted to I love the idea of having all the avatars I've made printed out on a wall somewhere, but that's like hours and days worth of work to get to that point. So I don't know if we'll do that, but I love the idea of it. I think we're missing the axe should have. No, that looks. Hello, hi, play. Welcome. Hi. You high poly print 3D. Correct. So it does need the high poly version, and a lot of you can't just take a game model and then throw it into a 3D printer and expect it to work as you intend. Unfortunately, I wish that was the case, but it does require a little bit upkeep and tweaks and filling things out and stuff. I just listen to my anxiety when I either worked a lot on a model or I'm about to do a big change. That's when when it's time to save a new file. Basically, if I think it might break, save a new version. Yeah, that's a great advice. Maybe it makes sense to do automatically every couple minutes. You can certainly do automatic. For me, I do it in whatever stage I'm in. So a few times during sculpting, a few times during retopology, but definitely before I switch from retopology or from sculpting to retopology, I will make sure to save any big change. I had a team. You have a team? That's awesome. That'd be awesome. I'd definitely be interested in commissioning STLs to print. Oh, heck yeah. Okay. Then, yeah, I would love to do that. It would be super cool to have I mean, man, it was a perfect character to 3D print. I keep talking about Zoids and Gundam when I'm working on your character. Like, we get to actually do the Zoid and Gundam thing with your character. Can't get any better than that. Dream come true. All right, there we go. Got the axe working pretty well. And I could do... This is kind of a goofy spot right here. Bam. You just extrude it. Like that. No, we'll do a triangle. I'd love to print my character on my Bamboo 71C. Okay. Is that a filament extruder? This one's a resin. Should be the same, right? I don't think there'd be a difference in too big a difference in printing. I hope. I pray. Oops. Bamboo 71C is the 3D printer I have. Okay. But it's like a filament one, with the roll of plastic. Gotcha. Okay. All right, we're gonna leave these areas alone. We have a few spots we haven't finished. These chunks and then the end, but I want to wrap up the front of the blade. Broad strokes first. Broad strokes or blade strokes. Key. Got there. Boom. Trying to do some even spacing. It's important that the spacing on a curve is as even as possible. Otherwise it won't look as curved, it'll look jagged. Guys from Russia, okay. You got a Russian team of, a team for what? Any particular game? Bam, 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 bam. Ah, okay, so you're gonna make a game. Nice. That's awesome. Very cool. Oh, that's a little messed up right there. Might have to redo that little piece. Should be okay, but could be a problem later. Bam. All right. Some kind of Stalker or Metro 2033. Exciting. I never played those games, but I ended up playing a bunch of mod packs, I guess. Oh no, that's something else. But I do like that kind of atmosphere. There's some VR game, Into the Field, Into the Radius, that's very similar to those games, and that looks pretty cool. I'm very into that. Love VR. I love a Silent Hill VR. Oh, would I really? That sounds kind of scary. I would play that on stream, Silent Hill VR. I bet there's a mod out there for it. I loved Silent Hill 2. That one was really fun. Watch a grown man cry on stream. Into the Radius is awesome. awesome, but it's a time sink, so watch out. I'll keep an eye out then. That is the curse of video games these days. You can play them, but they take up your whole day. I want to do another cut here, but I don't think I can. I think we'll do a triangle here and here. There. There. I guess we'll do another triangle. Boom. Boom. Discord link is on his website at play. Oh yeah. It should be. I don't think it's linked as easily on YouTube. Let me grab that for you. Well. Or linked as nicely. Yeah, I gotta look at the YouTube setup, see what's going on. There we go. Nice even spacing. I'd like to do the same here. And here. And here. Interesting. Spacing is very different. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. A little too close. That's how I want to do it. There we go. Okay. A little odd. So the low poly is now 18,000. This one is, at the moment, 1,000. So coming out pretty well. Coming out pretty well. We're doing good on the count here. Still need to get the bottom down here though. And I've got another 30 minutes in the stream. For anyone that's new here, there are a few new faces today. I do break my day up into 2 streams. So when I go on lunch soon, I will be back. I just take a break to go eat. Yeah, that's doing well. It's doing well. We got a good count there. Count amount. Oh, there's a gap. That's fine. Let's make a good ambient occlusion. All right, so we'll take this one, extrude it down. No, just keep doing that. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Then take these, 0.6, scale it in, 0.8, right about there. Then take this one, and we'll go the other side, this way. Ambient occlusion. Exactly. We're going to make the good AO. AO. Exactly. Or it's occlusion, but OC, OCC. CC. Yeah, I had to think about that. Do I make this little lip? I don't think so. There we go. Right here. Boom. Then right here. Boom. Oops. And then right here. Boom. And this is kind of the secret to circular things, is you can make circular things square with 3D stuff. It's the secret. I was more like, what does it mean, ambient occlusion? Gotcha. So when you create a material in something like Unity, there are certain types of maps you can add to make it look more realistic. And ambient occlusion is the shadows that appear when things are really close together. So if you look at your hands and you squish them together, it'll shadow, like the crease in between your hands will have a shadow, like right in between the hands. And so you can bake that into a setting. So it'll give you like little sharp shadows that you usually see in like the corner of the eyes, the mouth, when things are touching. And if I go into this view, my rendered view, and I have ambient occlusion on, I can turn that on and off, and you can see kind of how it shadows these little edges, basically. But you can bake it into a map, and hard to if you don't know what baking is, it's a little bit harder to explain. But basically, you can take details from your very, very detailed version of your character, which is what I've been making, and save those or bake those details into your simpler version, the one that will actually go into your game. And that's kind of the foundation of how I work and kind of how you would expect it to work in most games. Hopefully Lumen or Nanite or something, those kinds of things eventually get rid of our need to do that. Maybe someday, but anyway, it's basically a trick. It's a little shortcut to make things look more realistic. When we get to the rendering or final rendering stage. Much further down the road than we are right now. It's really interesting. Never heard that before. Well, good. It's a fun technique. It's very satisfying when you get something that it's got all its maps and you've saved all this work you've done before into your textures. Hello, Pablo the Kiddo. We are working on an axe right now. So I'm creating the retopologized or simpler version of this axe right here on top of it. And it's part of this mech that we're working on. So this guy right here, he's got an axe. And this is kind of what the reference image. So this is the design. This is our model right here. It's coming out pretty well. But hello, Pablo. I hope you're having a good day, and welcome to the stream. Right now, we're focused on just this little axe here. Oh, yeah, the drawing. Yes, I will do that. I'm going to finish up the axe, and then we'll switch over to that. But hello, Pablo. Welcome. Hope you're having a big Wednesday. If Nanite doesn't cover high poly models, maybe AI will save us some good time when it learns Retopo /UVs, etc. It seems to me like eventually we won't even be using rays and all these standard ways to compute things, and it'll just be an AI that renders everything for us internally. Like all the nerfs and all that kind of stuff that's coming out. Nerfies. Nerfies. There we go. Okay, so we're just making this curve here. We're trying to. I messed it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. This will just be a triangle then. All right, I can take these and extrude them onto that right there. Alrighty. Hopefully that bakes well when we get to the baking. Then we'll take this edge, extrude it, and then combine it with these two. So I don't have to make a bunch of new edges. I can cheat. Then we can close up the back here. 0.6. Bam. Bam. Oh. Okay. Space and space. And relax. Space. I think even a G stretch would look better. Point 6. Oh. Gotta be careful I don't grab the rest of the model. I almost screwed up all the other stuff I made. Okay, we're still close to finished. I'll have another 5 minutes on this, and then we're going to switch to a sketch request. So for anyone on Twitch, I do have a sketch request redeem. And that's what I'll be doing. So we had someone previously asked for their characters to be drawn, directing me how to 3D model, which came out very fun. And we're going to be kind of continuing that with another character. Hope is to make a mural of a variety of people telling me what to do, I suppose, of chat interacting with me. It'll be fun. Did you sculpt the axe, or maybe you subdivided it? I used subdivision to make it. For hard surface stuff like this, I do prefer to use subdivisions. Guess I got to start saving up channel points. Yeah. I find that the hard surface stuff, if it's too hard to sculpt with the remesh modifier, maybe in ZBrush you could do hard surface sculpting, or you can. I've seen people do it. But in Blender, it's very difficult to retain your edges when you use the remesh modifier. So, when you remesh. So I prefer to do the hard surface with subdivisions because it's cool. because it's cool. Do I use ZBrush? No. No, I used Sculptress back in the day, which was like their free version. But I didn't particularly care for the interface in ZBrush. And there was just a few... This looks really weird in there. There's a few pain points. A few things that just kind of made me end up deciding to use something else. It's a great program, though. And obviously people make fantastic work with it. But I just found that I was struggling. Also, it's a lot of money. I think that was the main struggle. Too much money. I know you're doing the step where you make it so there's less triangles, but I forget the name of this step. It is retopology. Like a topology is your geometry for the surface, and so we're redoing the topology, retopology. It's a fun process, honestly. It's kind of meditative. Takes a while sometimes, though. Certainly can take a while. Retopology. We're very close to done. I just have to finish this handle and then we're drawing. Gonna go for groceries. Catch you later, senpai. Thank you, Gakusei. Arigato. And enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. Hopefully I'll catch you for the rest of the week. I'm here every weekday, so hope to see you soon. Mirror modifier saves your life. I will be turning that on in a little bit. So I was wondering, how do you turn a PC avatar and make it Quest compatible? See you for sure. Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. So generally, I take a PC avatar and I just dissolve the edges. So like right here, like for this edge, for example, like on a Quest version, I would take all of these edge loops and I would just straight up dissolve them. Probably even these interior ones in here. Because the dissolve action does keep your UV maps. Which can save you a ton of time when you're making a Quest version. Because you don't really want to redo your UV maps. However, I have been dwelling on the best way to do it. And most likely, I will eventually switch to doing a second retopology pass for the Quest version. In an ideal world, that's what you do. That would give you the most bang for your buck, so to say. Because you do lose a little bit of clarity in your models, and I think that with the way Substance Painter is set up, it wouldn't be too bad to just make a simpler model and then bring it back into like a new version of your Substance Painter file and just rebake everything, reapply your textures, and make a really nice version. I think that's probably what I'll do for the next time I make a Quest version. But dissolving it certainly is very quick and efficient. It also keeps all your rigging too. So, You trade one set of problems for another. And one more thing to clarify, that is how I make my quest version. I think that many others, there's a ton of different ways you can skin the cat. Sorry for the morbid terminology, but I'm trying to bake something, but for some reason it just doesn't work, and I don't see the golden result when I check the UV map. Are you baking in Blender? Okay. Axe retopology is done. I'm going to select the boundary loop. 6, 6, 0. Oh, we didn't close this up. And that as well. That's okay. We'll come back to that. So when you're baking in Blender, you have to make sure that, so for example, if we had a material here, the image that you're baking, so if you're this is your the image you're baking to, you have to make sure it's selected, first of all. So definitely want to make sure it's selected. Second, I always recommend, this not, ignore, so we have our baking text strip here. Another texture or details I want to bake. Depends on how you're doing the baking, but yeah, we'll just say you have to select your image that you're going to bake to. And secondly, if you have multiple UV maps, you have to have the UV map you want it to bake to selected. So if you have multiple UV maps, make sure you're using your target UVs. All right, I'm going to switch gears here. We're going to do some drawing really quick for the last 15 minutes of our morning stream. So in about 15 minutes, I will be going on lunch. It is necessary to unwrap before bake normals. Oh, that's true. That's true. So yeah, if you haven't done your normals yet, definitely need to do UV unwrapping. I had multiple textures. Okay, that's probably it then. Most likely that was it. All right, so we're going to be adding thingy into this drawing. Well, I have so much to learn, haha. And if it makes you feel better, hopefully this does, the learning never ends. There is always more to learn. You just got to fall in love with the learning. Also, hello, Mr. J Production. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the stream. So let me grab thingies. Character. A very charming little cute chibi cat. Here's Thingy's character right here. Copy. We'll go back to Photoshop. We'll paste her in there. Flip. I know what I want to do. We'll do add the thingy down here. Sick also drawing. Thank you. Yeah, this is some additional rewards. This is the same brush, yeah. Okay. I have something like keep the side of the desk vague for a little bit. I'm trying to draw. Feels weird to. I haven't warmed up my hand at all, so I'm just kind of getting in there. So you draw and you make models? How do you do that? This is what I did first. This is what I. This is my first. This is what got me into the whole thing, drawing, learning how to draw things, and I was like, man, I wish there was a more accurate way to make things or reuse things, and then that led me to Blender. And it's all related. It's all the same stuff. Just muscle memory that's different. But you fist. Like doing sculpting, I feel has great improved my ability to draw. Like doing more and more sculpting and stuff. Just like blocking out the like a what's that, like a pose, leaning forward with the leg kicked up in the air? Okay, that's kind of what I'm shooting for. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Ignore the creepy eyes. We'll change those in a moment. All right, that's the general idea right there. And kind of refine it a little. Turn on the flow. This is my brush. Kind of getting the like, what's that 4 comma? It's like a comic. Style. Kind of channeling a little bit of that. Or a lot of that. Bam. Do you have a tail? Nice. It was reference image. Yes, you do. Bam. You saved my life. Ah. Well, good. I'm glad it worked. Nothing's more frustrating than bad baking. It feels so obtuse. You don't. It's hard to know what's going on. Happy to help. Happy to help. Is this the same brush that I usually use? I'm using this one. I think I was using the wrong brush. Yeah, this one's way softer. Love the concept first 3D and now relaxing on 2D concept. You gotta switch it up. Find the enjoyable parts of it. I want to make them tiny. Yeah. I don't like the eyes though. I think those are coming out weird. Image rotation, flip canvas. Something like this. Let me try this small. Darn it, I was using the wrong brush the whole time. I prefer this brush a lot more. I guess we can redo some. Yeah, okay, that feels right. It's silly. It's a silly Billy. My God, it's a silly Billy. There we go. Much softer. I have a hard time drawing circle eyes, apparently. There we go. We'll kind of just rotate your drawing. So now you're here. What's up, Fax? Hello, hello. You caught me towards the end of my morning session. I'll be ending the stream in just a moment. But hello, welcome. We're doing a sketch request at the moment. We spent the morning working on the mech dragon. Ignore the random points of light. Why are they so hard to draw? These eyes are so challenging. Simple eyes are always the hardest for me. Like, there's such subtlety in like a little round shape. Looking at Pat's stream, seeing how you block out the hands helped me a lot. I managed to make my first hands ever. Nice. Let's go, facts. Let's go. Those are the facts. So much hard work. Indeed, Con. Indeed. But that's the best. That's the best. Working hard, making the things you want to make. Doesn't get any better than that. Just give it a little shadow here to pop the legs out from each other. Okay, that looks much better. We'll do a little eyebrow too. I can't really get the other eye. But I do want to make the mouth more cat-like. One last thing. Let's move these ears up. The head's a lot taller than I have. And then we're almost on to the next step. There's another little pigtail in the back. It's going to be hard to add. Bam, bam, bam. Love it. Okay. Add me into your project. It's a sketch request on Twitch, so I don't know how I'd do it for YouTube, but it's a little redeem feature. By the way, I love how the sketch looks. So saying out with one reference, you can draw it in a totally different pose. Well, thank you, Fax. Thank you. I love posing and dynamic perspective. I still remember like one of the things that got me into drawing was like Sasuke, like this foreshortened drawing of Sasuke. It's like, dude, that's dope. I didn't look back. It's when it happened to me. All right, let's go to the highlight layer. Because now we can add some light. And we can, all right, one other thing, add a mask to the other layers. Pop this out. That. And like that. All right, let's flip it again. Edit, transform, flip horizontal. Nope. Always need to do the canvas. Canvas horizontal. I'm going to go by. Your work is crazy. Thank you, Pablo. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for coming by, and we'll catch you later. So we can say anime got you into drawing? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I still, back at one of the formative moments in my life was like looking at this, one of my fellow classmates, and they were drawing like these very Bishonen anime dudes. And I was like, whoa. It blew my mind. I was like, people can just do that? Like, you could just draw things if you want to? Holy crap. And that was the end for me. That was the end. DBZ, exactly. So good. Had some Dragon Ball Z books when I was younger too. Good old. No, sorry, not Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball. That was a dream. All right, let's add some highlights now. This is what makes it pop. I'm gonna cheat and we'll be like, okay, now it looks like it's real. Or now it's in the scene. But you work as a concept artist? Also work as a concept, or is this more like a side hobby? My or the VR chat avatars I'm making, that's my full time job. But concept art was what kind of set me on this path, and I ended up learning a lot of the 3D um, from doing that. There we go. Hair nice and shiny. And we'll do a little bit of highlight on the leg. All right. But yeah, I no longer do concept artwork for freelance just because it's an extremely, extremely competitive field. Like, there's a lot of people looking to do concept art. Not a bad thing, but it's hard to find your footing there. All right, what do we think, Thingy? How's that looking? It's cute. Good, good. I like how your character feels way more like realistic somehow. That's usually how it goes with drawings. The more you add, the more it gets more realistic as time goes on. It was very cool. Thank you, Chava. Thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, if you stick around, you'll be able to redeem your character, and soon, eventually, we'll have this huge mural. That's the long-term goal, at least, is to slowly just keep building, adding more and more characters. But that does bring me to the end of stream. Actually, I should let me export this before I forget. And say char mural 01. Looking good, and the whole scene is funny. Good. Thank you, Fax. I'm enjoying it. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like in like a year from now. It'll be like this gigantic thing. If it get, I'll start trying to. Maybe I'll make a VR world for VR chat world. What I do, and we'll start adding stuff to it. Kind of as like a home base, a treehouse. Let me pop that into a chat, and I'll tag you, Thingy. Stream sketch redeems 01. And put that there. Added to the mural. Who's next? All right, everyone. And then making it 3D. Whew, that maybe I'll do a separate one for just the avatars that I've made, all the commissions and stuff. Okay, everyone. Thank you all for hanging out with me this morning. Again, if you're new here, I'm just going to go on lunch for the next hour and a half. So we'll be ending this stream, and I'll be back in about, again, an hour and a half for the second stream of the day. So do 2 streams a day. I will be back today. Very cool. Thanks for your stream. Love it. And now I'm going to start Blender also. You should, Java. Enjoy that Blender. Embrace the Blender addiction. But again, thank you everyone for hanging out, and I'll see you all very soon. You have a great rest of your break as well, Arctic. Thank you. And everyone else that's lurking, much love to all of you. I'll see you in a bit. Bye, everyone. Bye, Draw. Oh, yeah, Draw thingy. Bye, Draw. Same thingy, but Draw's thingy. See you, Fax. See you later. And catch you all very soon. Bye, everyone.